The World Health Organization recommends infants be breastfed alone for the first 6 months of life and then thereafter continue breastfeeding with food for up to 2 years. Large areas in the developed world, such as Europe, the United Kingdom, US, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada, all promote breastfeeding as their ultimate infant feeding option. I want you to consider for a moment how a woman would feel being told by healthcare providers, by media, by other mothers, by family, and even their own community that breastfeeding is best. Studies unveiled that women have internalized the notion that breastfeeding is related to their ability to be a good mother. Worse, messaging tells women that breastfeeding is innate and easy, and then they try it and find the reality that it's actually a complicated skill. Research shows that if a woman cannot breastfeed, her confidence as a parent and her emotions are impacted strongly for the worse. There is evidence suggesting that negative breastfeeding experiences such as this can contribute towards an increased risk for maternal mental illness. Baby-friendly hospital is a designation hospitals achieve when they support breastfeeding at every policy level. One policy, for example, is to provide training to every provider to support breastfeeding. In contrast to other countries, Canada has fewer hospitals with this. However, many hospitals are currently in the process of creating the conditions to obtain this title. Within Canada, breastfeeding support is focused mainly on the immediate postpartum period. Within this time, when they are most significantly vulnerable, if a provider provided too much information on breastfeeding, this was seen as pressure and as a result was seen as unsupportive. And then on the other hand, women that felt not enough time spent with them during breastfeeding support found that unhelpful. One of the most recent surveys measured that in Canada 2011, 89% of mothers initiated breastfeeding, yet this rate dropped to only 26% by the 6-month mark. In the city of Kamloops, BC, our hospital doesn't have a baby-friendly designation, which makes our community indicative of the general Canadian population. As a registered nurse with experience within the Canadian healthcare system, supporting women's choices to promote their best health outcomes, and also with significant breastfeeding training, a question which came to mind is, are women within our community experiencing a feeling of being pressured to breastfeed? And what sort of interactions with healthcare providers made them to feel supported or unsupported? Unfortunately, very limited Canadian research is available exploring whether women experience pressure to breastfeed or on what effective breastfeeding support actions were. Without knowing this, how can we truly ensure we are providing the most effective care? I decided to conduct interviews on women in Kamloops to discover what their breastfeeding journeys looked like, to develop a deeper understanding of women's experiences receiving breastfeeding support, and to explore how they were made to feel supported or unsupported or even pressured in their experiences. With this understanding, we can help to inform future providers on effective support to help ensure better and improved outcomes. Thank you for your time.